So let me tell you about the tragic case of a man named Ben Gary Treistman. This is a man who got divorced from a very obviously, in my opinion, messed up lady. Ben was divorced from his wife, Suzanne Cayley, sometime, I'm guessing, because none of the documents that I have found have told me the exact dates, but probably sometime around 2010, 2011. And they had a 7-year-old daughter together. Her name is Anya. And as with most custody cases, the daughter was given to the mother for the majority of the time until custody could be completely settled. And Ben only had 8 hours on Sundays from 9 to 5 with his 7-year-old daughter. Now, before I show and tell you about the disgusting things that happened after this point, I feel that it's important to know some things about Anya, his daughter. As I said, Anya was 7 years old and was diagnosed with some sort of developmental disability at the age of 2, but I guess it was one of those that they just kind of grow out of. And by the age of 7, she was just a very bright young girl. Her father had worked with her, and as a matter of fact, she had mastered the game of chess by the age of 5, and when given a child IQ test, she scored, I believe the score was 140. It's pretty damn high. They had a very close relationship with each other, lots of father-daughter outings. Overall, from what can be read, it seemed like Ben Gary was a very good guy and a very good father. Now, for at least the past 2 years, Ben has been stuck in the middle of this custody battle. Still, to this day, as far as I can find out, because for some reason, no local news sources or anybody has picked up on this story yet, and I'm not sure how the fuck that's possible given the just absolutely disgusting facts behind this case. Sometime around May 2011, the mother, Suzanne Cayley, had her daughter admitted to the Ulster County mental health facilities because she said that her daughter was having some sort of outburst in school and having temper tantrums, things that, 7-year-old children do anyway, and that she couldn't handle it. So Anya was admitted, and they eventually prescribed her, and I'll find the doctor's name in just a second who prescribed her this, but a antipsychotic called, as far as I can make it out to be pronounced, Geodon, Geodon. Geodon's normally prescribed for things like schizophrenia and Tourette's syndrome, and is in no way approved by the FDA for use in children. So now, back to the story with the father. The father has her over one Sunday, and she's, dancing to some 7-year-old girl music, and she says, "Ow, Dad, my heart hurts." And he's like, "What the hell are you talking about, right?" So the girl relays to him at some point that she thinks her mother's trying to kill her. She's giving her some sort of pill every morning, and she doesn't know what it is. So the father, being a concerned parent, being a normal parent, wants to find out just what the fuck this drug is that his daughter's taking that he was never told about. In addition to this, he had seen his daughter's massive weight gain. By 7 years old, she went from something like 60 or 70 pounds to about 102 pounds. Later on, as of January, I believe 2012, she ended up weighing 125 pounds, which is severely obese for a 7-year-old. It's almost fatal. Like, that's gigantic for a 7-year-old. You're talking heart disease, heart attacks, bad stuff. So Ben Gary pursues trying to find out exactly what it is his daughter is taking, because, in his mind, this is probably part of what's causing the weight gain, maybe part of what's causing the heart pain. As it turns out, Geodon causes both weight gain and can cause complications with the heart. At which point, Ben Gary is summoned to a meeting with Child Protective Services where he meets a fat fucking walrus named Amy Green. Let's take a look at Amy Green. That is one Amy Green. Look at that fucking smug look on her face. So Amy Green takes it upon herself to tell the father that he shouldn't be doing parental things like monitoring his daughter's health, her weight gain, because it'll make her feel self-conscious. However, in addition to that, she also tells him that I guess part of the ritual is to go to some coffee shop or something in the mornings as soon as he picks her up, and he gets coffee and she, he gets her a pop or something like that. He states, I don't know if this is true or not, he states that it's one of those like Coke Zeros or something where it has 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. I don't know if that's true. I don't really care if that's true, but in addition to telling him that he shouldn't be concerned with her medical anything, she then tries to tell him how he should be taking care of her weight issues on his end. Now, I'm no doctor, but if I'm a fat fucking pig, I'm not going to tell other people how to manage weight at all, okay? This giant fucking walrus, this disgusting gelatinous mass of organic material, this wildly inaccurate drawing of a skinny person, tries to tell this father how he should handle his daughter's weight gain issues. Now, mind you, at this point in the video you're about to see, Ben Gary does not know what drug is being taken by his daughter. He goes on to argue that he should know because, just the same as if you were to bring your child to some sort of daycare, they should know the medicine so they don't give them anything that'll interact, especially in the case of antipsychotics, which he doesn't even know it's that yet, where, you can't even do things like drink fucking grapefruit juice because you'll die. I mean, it may not be that serious, but you should fucking know. You have this kid, a child, for 8 hours. What if she's like, I have a headache, you give her aspirin, and she fucking keels over dead? Whose fault is that? Ben Gary's, who had no idea that she couldn't take certain drugs because she was on powerful antipsychotics? Or the mother, who obviously doesn't give a shit whether her daughter is healthy or not because she won't inform the father of what medication she's taking. So, fuck this Suzanne Cayley, and take a look at this.
About 3 weeks ago, Anya had mentioned to me that Mommy was giving her some kind of pill. And I didn't know whether that was for a headache or for a cold or whatever. So I didn't think too much of it. The week after that, she was dancing in my apartment just because we had some pretty good disco music on. And she was dancing up and down. And all of a sudden she clutches her heart and says, "Ow, my heart hurts. I can't dance anymore." And then she sits down and she goes, "I'm scared." And at that point I started wondering what this pill could possibly be. And I asked her, I said, "Well, do you know what color it is? When do they give it to you? What's it supposed to be for?" She said, "It's supposed to make me cooperate, and it's supposed to relax me." Trying to get any kind of hint because she didn't know the name of it either. So I'm very concerned. I don't know what it is. Suzanne has never told me even that she was medicating her, let alone what it is. I don't know what doctor is giving it to her. And if it is what you're saying it is, I'm freaking out because this is like Munchausen by proxy.
Now, to me, it seems obvious that if your daughter's complaining about heart pain, she's putting on massive weight gain, and that suddenly she tells you, "They're making me take some kind of pill that's going to make me cooperative," that you would be fucking concerned, right? This next part shows some hypocrisy that you'll see come up later in the video.
And, You're not aware of the medication that she's on at all?
I don't know what it is.
You weren't told at family court?
No.
You aren't aware of the medications? With everything you're about to say, or that fat fucking piece of shit next to you is about to say, why would you ask that?
My question is, without knowing what the medication was, or speaking to the professional that's providing that medication to her, how do you feel it's appropriate to discuss possible side effects with a child that you are aware of having developmental delays?
When you say I discussed possible side effects.
Discuss that with a child A, B, a child that you know has developmental delays. And you don't even know what in fact that medication is. That's your statement to me right now. You don't even know what she's on. You took the time to look it up on the internet, a bunch of different medications, and go over the possible side effects of all these different medications with a child that you know is developmentally delayed. And you felt that was appropriate because why? Why do you feel that that was an appropriate thing to do with a child that you know has developmental delays?
When you're ready,
I'm ready.
Try to answer your question.
I'm ready.
Okay. You've just presented the facts, not how they happened. Okay. I don't know what she was taking. I'm trying to identify what she's taking by her oratory, by what she says she remembers. I'm going on the internet. I'm asking her.
Right, we've gotten this. I understand that part.
Well, let
I've
me
already
put it.
stated that part.
Well, let me put it in my own words.
Those
Okay.
were your words.
Can I put it in my own words?
I want you to move forward.
So you're not letting me put it how I want to put it.
You've already said this.
No, I have not said it.
Fine. Put it in your own words.
Okay, thank you. So I'm looking at these things. I don't know specifically what it is, but I'm also trying to find out what could be given to a child who supposedly has PDD-NOS. And I'm looking and I'm reading some things on Wikipedia. We're looking up, we're trying to find out what it is. And I kept asking her, do you know the name of this thing? She says, no, I don't know the name of this thing. So I perused through the internet on Wikipedia trying to find out what could possibly match up everything I knew about my daughter.
With your daughter present?
Yes, with my daughter present, to see what could possibly be this medication. I don't know what you've been taking.
Why did you think it was appropriate to discuss that with your daughter? I don't know, maybe because she's complaining about fucking heart pains, she's concerned that this pill is messing her up psychologically. She's bringing this up to you as a concern, as your child who is concerned about her own health. I don't know. Why would I want to discuss possible side effects of the medicine she's taking with her? Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And we're going to report this information to the judge.
Well, we should, because I'm concerned. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it was her mother's responsibility to at least let me know?
No.
No?
Her mother does not have a court order that says she has to share any of that information with you. You don't have overnight visits. You're not responsible for giving her any of the medication.
My daughter
It is not your ex-wife's responsibility.
My daughter is with me for an extended period of time on Sundays. Whatever this medication is might have side effects.
No.
It might have contraindications for other medications.
And then you would take her to the hospital, and the hospital would call her mother, because her mother is the legal custodian that has to consent to any medical care she would receive.
So you don't think it was irresponsible for her mother not to tell me what medicine she's taking?
No, I do not.
So basically what Fat Fuck is saying is, you have no right to know. First off, it wasn't court ordered that he shouldn't know, but as responsible parents, you should fucking tell each other these things. Even me and my ex, even though we dislike each other, we talk about the kids and the medicines and the things that are wrong with them at the times that there are things wrong with them. Should I know about the medications? No. And then she goes on to say, he's like, well, what if there are side effects, with other medications? What if they mix wrong? Well, then you bring her to the hospital and then contact her mother. So yeah, by the time it's too fucking late, that's when you do something about it. What kind of fucking world does this lady live in?
So what is a normal visit? What do you guys normally do on a visit? What do you feed her? What do you give her a drink?
Well, we go often to like a fair or the game farm, or one time we went to the animal sanctuary. Sometimes we visit friends. What I do is I pick her up. I get coffee. She gets a soda.
At 9 in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
One of the 0-calorie sodas.
Still caffeine, though.
No, there was no caffeine in that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it says 0 everything on it.
You might want to double check that, because a lot of those 0-calorie sodas still have caffeine.
I will.
And that's not good for an 8-year-old. And the sugar content alone in a soda is
There's
not
a 0.
in the morning.
0 calorie, 0 sugar.
But they're using some other sweetener, which is also sugar. It's also, it's a sugar substitute.
Yes.
Yes. So it has the same effect as sugar on an 8-year-old.
It does?
Yes.
I thought sugar was fattening and it gave you energy, but this is not metabolized. It's not.
It will also give them energy. It's not a good idea to be giving that to an 8-year-old, especially at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Even if it's sugar-free and caffeine-free, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How much you want to bet this bitch's kids are, like, way bigger than they should be? If she has kids, if anything's ever touched that before in their lives. This video's getting long. I don't give a fuck. This whole thing needs to be covered. And I'd play the whole fucking 30-minute thing if I thought that was not too long for you to pay attention. This is why I'm breaking it up. But, this is the part where I was saying, I don't know if he's telling the truth about 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 caffeine. To be quite honest, I don't care. Because, you know what? Once a week in the morning when you and your kid finally get to hang out, you're going to want to do something fun. You're going to want to go and get a pop or an ice cream or a pizza or a fucking Happy Meal. Go to the toy store. Whatever else he said, visit the fair. You're going to want to do that shit. You're going to have fun. You want your kids to have fun with you when you have them, especially when you have them for such a short period of time. Secondly, don't be giving out diet advice, you fat, stupid piece of shit.
She should be drinking milk, juice.
I've been concerned about her weight, so I usually weigh her as well.
Like too small, too big?
How heavy is she?
Yes, like you're concerned about her weight.
Way too big.
She's overweight.
Yes.
Okay.
She's 103 pounds now.
Okay.
And I've been weighing her every time she visits, and it's like going up 3/4 of a pound each time I visit. She visits with me.
Is she getting taller at all?
No.
Okay, how tall is she?
About 4.5 feet, something like that.
That's an appropriate weight.
You have to see her. She's obese.
Not teaching her any healthy eating habits. And I want to talk. I'm overweight, but I do eat actually as healthy as I possibly can. But anyhow, and I teach my child appropriate eating habits.
This fat fuck giving diet advice. Give me a fucking break. How are you gonna sit there looking like that and tell this man he can't give his daughter? First off, you no proof about what he's giving his daughter, but except for what he's telling you and what she's telling you, okay? And personally, the words of an adult are probably a little bit more accurate than a 7-year-old child's, okay? So he's telling you 0 calories, 0 sugar. That's all you have to go on. So where do you get off saying, well, you don't get off. I guarantee that. Not with anybody aside from your own greasy fucking chicken finger hands. Where do you get off telling somebody they can't give their child soda that's, as he puts it, like flavored water at that point? No, give her juice. Water down some juice. I know I'm overweight, but I know how to eat healthy. No, you don't. That's why you're overweight. Like I said, I guarantee this chick's fucking kids are like mini moons around this fucking Death Star.
If I had her for any appreciable amount of time, then I would make sure that her caloric intake was extremely lowered.
But if you're
that would not be her normal diet. In the little bit of time that I have with her, I don't have the opportunity to do much teaching. All we have really is to be with each other and enjoy each other's company and go to places and have fun together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to fit all of that into our brief 8 hours that we have together. So, I mean, we're pretty much like hugging each other and hoping to make the best of what we have together. Mm-hmm. If we could only have more time, then what you're saying is exactly true. I would absolutely make sure that her caloric intake went down.
So then my recommendation would be, stop weighing your child.
Well, then how am I supposed to know how much she weighs?
Why do you need to know how much she weighs?
Because it's my concern that she's getting
But
obese.
then you're not following through with your concern.
It's actually a legal concern.
How is
It's
it
not just a
legal
health concern.
Listen.
It's a legal concern
one or
because
the
her
other.
mother's permitting her to get this obese.
But you're
I'm not doing it.
perpetuating it.
I'm not. I only have 8 hours on a
You're
week.
taking her to McDonald's. You're giving her energy drinks.
I respectfully disagree.
You're more than welcome to disagree.
Okay.
But I'm telling you that your actions are inappropriate. You're sending mixed signals to your child. You need to stop one or stop the other. You're telling me it's too difficult to plan meals and find things that your child will eat, then you need to stop weighing her. That is a humiliation factor that we're also going to be informing the judge are doing. And discussing.
It's not meant to be a
further.
humiliation factor.
But she's 7.5. You're treating her inappropriately. You're telling her that you're concerned about her weight and that she needs to work on it. That is not appropriate to be doing with your child. Not appropriate. So,
Well, what should I say after weighing her?
don't weigh her. Don't weigh her.
I don't like to wish harm on people, but it's getting really hard in this one. Look at that smile that she has. I get into arguments with people, like debates, who do that. They do that like, and they got that little fucking smile. How do you... I can't deal with this lady. I've watched this video 4 times now, okay? And just to notice her attitude, clearly she's not looking out for the interest of the child. She's looking out for the interest of the mother, who's not looking out for the interest of the child by putting her on these dangerous drugs. By the way, the doctor, let me get that name real quick. Dr. Howard Gottlieb puts her on this Geodon, right? Not only does the father notice symptoms of the drug, but the mother does it first and actually takes Anya to the emergency room, at which point, thank you, Hangouts, at which point she's taken off the drug. A little while later, she's re-prescribed the drug at double the dose. Clearly the mother doesn't give a shit, okay, because I would not be letting this happen regardless of custody. Nobody's gonna fuck my kid up regardless of what the law says. Anyway, that fucking smile, you can tell just by the way this lady speaks. The only thing she's trying to do is catch the father in something so that they can give proof to the judge that he's a bad father, the mother should have custody, when really all of the child's problems right now are being caused by this fat fucking Amy Green, this fucking donut over here, and the mother who doesn't give a shit about what is actually happening to her daughter. Otherwise, these things wouldn't be happening. She wouldn't be on a heavy antipsychotic meant for adults who are schizophrenic, bipolar, have Tourette syndrome. She would not be gaining massive amounts of weight. We're talking like 45 pounds at 7 years old, okay? And really, if the mother cared, the people fighting for Anya wouldn't be Amy fucking Green. And to tell the dude that you can't weigh your daughter, it is a legal concern. If your child is getting morbidly obese, you have a medical issue going on with your child that needs to be addressed. Now, nobody's telling the father what the fuck is happening, as it turns out, and he doesn't know this yet, at least as of this recording, that his fucking daughter is on a drug that causes people to gain massive amounts of weight. As some, probably maybe most, I'm not even going to claim that, but some antipsychotics will do that to you. So he doesn't even know that yet. And Amy Green's telling him it's because he's taking her to McDonald's once a fucking week, or giving her a 0-calorie soda. Give me a fucking break. Fuck you, Amy Green.
Is it possible that whatever her mother is giving her is making her gain weight?
It's possible that she's going to hit a growth spurt, and all children put on a little bit of weight before they have a growth spurt.
Do you suppose that the medicine?
She might put 10 pounds
because
on
she
and then
didn't
gain 3
she
inches.
didn't she didn't weigh this much before her mother took her. She weighed 80 pounds, and in a matter of months she ballooned up to 103.
It's possible she's going to have a growth spurt soon. My daughter did that. She'd put 10 pounds on, get all chunky and punched out, and then she'd shoot up 2 inches and thin right back out.
Answer the fucking question! How is it not his concern as a father that his daughter's ballooning up like this? It's obviously his concern, and you know what? Good on him for fucking writing down the trend, figuring out what the trend is. He knows she's gaining 3/4 of a pound per week. That's insane. At another point in the video, she accuses him of not being a medical professional and not being qualified, to make these sorts of judgments. Well, how are you qualified, Amy Green? The only thing you're qualified to do is to tell people how to become a fat bitch like you.
Let me ask you a quick question. If a person were to bring their child to, say, a daycare center for 8 hours, don't you think it's incumbent upon them to tell the daycare center what medications that child might be on?
No.
Not at all.
Not if they don't have a concern that there's going to be a side effect that needs to be addressed.
Okay. If that's what you're saying, then I accept it.
No, I don't think so.
I could feel the wobble in the earth through the video from here. How the fuck can you say that? That's where I realized the first time I watched this video, her attitude was already bothering me, just because I don't like that attitude. You can tell what's going on in her brain, and it's not right for someone who's deciding the future of a child, getting in between her parents. For Amy Green to say something like, "No, I do not believe it is incumbent of the parent to share that sort of information, with a daycare that you're leaving your child at for 8 hours because there's no concern for side effects," which is not the case with the drug that she's on, should be grounds for the immediate termination, possibly imprisonment of this lady. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact that this story has not been on the news, I've not seen this on any major news networks for the past 3 years. I've seen plenty of other ridiculous news stories. I haven't seen this. All the time that we dedicate in media to things that do not matter at all is ridiculous when things like this go under the radar. This man tried to protect himself by what appears to be the situation appears to be that he brought a hidden camera in and recorded this just to catch the absolute ridiculousness of the things that these people can say, considering the type of power that these people hold. They can take your children away from you and have that kind of fucking attitude. And you know that if this lady was in that man's position, considering her mental state, she'd probably be in jail for doing something violent. She would be fighting it tooth and nail. She would be like, "I don't care what the law says. I need to know what's going on with my child." You know that. You know that. Ben Gary, I'm on your side, man. I don't know if you're telling the truth about the coke thing. I really don't. What I do know, what I can see, and what all of you can see, just the full videos in the comments section below. I will link to the PDF of the court case in the comments section below. We know, just by watching Amy fucking Green. And you know what? Shame on that blonde bitch sitting next to her for cooperating with any of that horse shit that was coming out of her mouth. This is disgraceful that government agencies that have this much power can hire people like that. So, where are you at, Fox News? Where are you at, CNN? Shit, where are you at, Young Turks and all those fucking, progressive, modern news sources that are supposed to be better? Where the fuck are you on this one? Am I saying this is more important than the whole thing with Syria or international relations? No. But for the amount of time that you guys dedicate to absolute fucking nonsense, you could step your game up a little bit and cover something like this. Help Ben Gary Treistman out against people who can take his daughter away from him. Not only take his daughter away, but essentially fuck her entire life up by putting her on double the dosage of drugs that are not FDA approved for kids, that are giving her heart pains, that are making her throw on 40 pounds. They can take your child away from you and then kill your child. How many kids have been taken away from their parents, put into the system, and then raped, killed by their foster parents? These people should be fired. Amy Green should be fired. And in my opinion, somebody who would sit there with that smug look on their face and make decisions for a child that are obviously wrong, so obviously wrong to the normal, average person, there should be corporal punishment for that. There really should be. Like, she should be fired, jailed, and just, you know, like they used to do in the old times, just fucking with a whip, 10 lashes on the back. You know what I mean? Because fuck Amy Green. And Ben Gary Treistman, I hope this video gets some traction, not for me, but for you, my friend, because I really feel your pain. So that's what I've got for you this week. Hopefully you guys will run with this, you know, bring this to the media. Subscribe to my page if you feel like it, and I will catch you guys next time. Fuck you, Amy Green, if you're watching as well. If you want to contact me, message me, we can have a chat.